Bring us in.
Bring us in. And we're back. That's how you do it, isn't it? It's been a while. It's been a long time.
Well, let's not go through that.
Okay. We will just establish it's been a long time. Like 5 months.
So every time we get to this part of the year where it's like holidays so we can record, it's the sick season. So I'm getting sick.
Yeah.
I'll try not to breathe heavily.
I've just been exhausted, so every moment that my brain is not having to think, I'm just falling asleep. Which might be a problem.
You'll stay awake.
You reckon?
You better.
Oh my goodness.
You're reading Kumasawa.
Okay. Kumasawa. She looks younger here.
You said that before.
Well, it was a long time ago and I couldn't remember that. I feel like I'm seeing her for the
just
first
had her
time
bath.
again.
Oh wait, no, this is like Meta Kumasawa.
Meta Kumasawa?
Metal.
Metal Kumasawa?
Look at her, she's hardcore.
I'm not seeing it. She looks young to me. Hey, I never noticed.
Otherworld Kumasawa.
I never noticed Beatrice in the background.
Yeah, it's Kinzo's study.
How many Beatrice portraits are there in the house? I thought there was just that
two,
one.
I assume.
There's
Well,
two.
Surely Kinzo would have a picture in his study.
This is the first time I've noticed it.
Well, it's the first time we've seen
Is
the
that
study.
is that the epitaph underneath
yeah,
it?
like it would seem so.
Interesting. In his study. Come on, it's okay now. Let's hurry.
That is you.
I know that's me. I just can't remember how I was doing it. I hope Father likes sweet foods. Oh, yes, he does like them. In fact, he seems to enjoy eating pretty much anything. It's weird not being able to hear myself.
You keep one out.
No, but with my mic, I can hear myself because it feeds back through.
That's not good.
What do you mean it's not
You
good?
shouldn't be hearing that.
No, it's done on purpose.
I don't know.
I don't
Up
know.
to you.
After waiting for the master of the room to be out, Beato and Kumasawa entered the study. Then they quickly cleaned up the books on the desk, set down the basket that I had brought there, and opened it up. Inside were several cute cookies cut out in a butterfly shape. They set out a pretty plate and neatly arranged the cookies on it. It was the kind of subtle, conscientious touch that the recipient wasn't likely to even notice. Because Battler doesn't pay attention. The whole arrangement was filled with that sort of feeling. Beatrice the Elder. I see you spare no efforts for the sake of your beloved father. This is the most I'm allowed to do right now. To think that I would give Butler cookies. Why should I, the ruler of the night, do so much for a guest who comes so rarely? Then the study door swung violently open. It was Butler, with Genji by his side. Butler's eyes went wide for a second when he saw Beato there, but his expression quickly went blank again. Can he see Can he see Beatrice the Elder? Or only Chick Beatrice?
What are you doing here?
Father, please excuse me. I didn't come here to get in the way of your important game.
How were you able to get in here? Wasn't this room locked? My apologies. They wanted to surprise you with a gift, so I lent them a key.
So Genji just gives out keys left, right, center? No wonder we have all these locked room mysteries and murders.
Maybe Genji's the culprit.
Maybe. See, have a look. Beatrice Summer baked these cookies with all her soul, hoping that you would enjoy them. Kumasawa-san and Genji-san taught me how. I never knew Genji-san was so good at baking cookies. Ho 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 ho! He hasn't done it much of late, but long ago Genji-san cooked all sorts of things. He was especially good with sweets.
Cookies?
Yes. It's a gift for you, Father. I sincerely pray for your victory in this important match. Butler looked at the plate on the study desk that was piled up with beautiful cookies and the message card of encouragement lying next to it, and his face twisted with a complex expression, which might have been one of sadness and might have been one of hatred.
I feel like we've done this already.
Well, I can't remember it.
Master.
Genji urged him to consider saying some words of gratitude to Beato. Butler understood. Anyone would be pleased to receive an act of kindness like this, even though he understood it logically. He couldn't help but give a small, exasperated sigh.
Thank you. I'm very grateful.
Is he just a masochist?
However, I don't like sweets. Please take it away.
Wait, which one's the one? Is it masochist or sadist?
I don't know, what are you implying?
That he just wants her to be mean to him.
Masochist.
Yes, Butler. Master!
Don't make me say the same thing again. Clean it up and take it away.
Master, couldn't you just try one bite? Beatrice Summer worked hard to make them for your sake.
I appreciate the sentiment. I'm in the middle of a vital game right now. This is the final game, and it's vital both for me and Beato as well. So please, don't mess with my heart any more than is necessary.
That's just too sad for her. I'm glad that you're grateful for her feelings, but can't you show it by taking just one little bite? Father. Beato looked at Butler sadly. Butler hung his head to avoid her gaze. The expression in his face caused Beato more pain than any he had shown her before.
Kumasawa, please clean this up and take it away.
Master! Did she just get slapped? Kumasawa clung to Butler, but he turned his back to her. My apologies. Let's clean this up, Kumasawa-san. I won't allow it. By making this gift, Beatrice Summer gave it her all to try and support you in the only way she could. To tell her to take it away without eating a bite yourself. How can you trifle with a woman so?
Kumasawa.
If you call yourself a man, you should at least try a bite when a woman makes you a handmade snack. If you truly intend to crush a woman's feelings like this, I, Kumasawa, will not back down even if it kills me. No, I won't. Kumasawa-san. You've done enough for me already. I won't allow it! Master, do you think they're poisoned or something? Just take a bite, Butler.
Yeah, if Beato ever came to give me cookies, of course I'd figure that she'd put some kind of crazy poison in them. And she's asking me if I think there's poison in these? Who would expect that cookies piled up in such a neat and cute way could possibly have something bizarre hidden inside them? And anyway, who could possibly imagine Beato making something like this?
Because of that, Butler couldn't bear to look at Beato's innocent reaction, which was completely free from any malicious thoughts, like slipping poison into cookies. Beato quietly started to clean up. Every now and then she sniffed. Kumasawa continued to glare at Battler, but she then gave a small sigh and helped Beato clean up. However, the hardness didn't disappear from her expression. My apologies, father. Please, excuse me.
Sounds like Nanja. Don't call me that. Don't call me father. Beato never called me that.
Yes, as you wish. My apologies. Hanging her head so low that her chin touched her chest, Beato hurried out of the study.
I just want to make sure we aren't on a repeat. No, should be right. After giving Battler a look, Kumasawa chased after her.
Kumasawa threw the door open a bit violently, and the footsteps of the pair rapidly disappeared off into the darkness.
Distance.
The distant darkness. It's dark. Look at the picture. It's all purple and blue. I may be his little sister, but I'm not sure how I feel about that. If she were anyone other than Beato, you'd think of him as a true enemy of woman. Is that it? I don't have a clue why Oni-chan and Beato act so friendly together. Right now, I think of Beato as our greatest enemy, the one we must defeat. Still, even so, as a woman, I can't say I like how Oni-chan's treating her. And yet, I can understand Battler's feelings a little too. What a sad state of affairs. I still don't understand what kind of antagonism or connection there was between them. However, Oni-chan probably viewed Beato as a friendly rival, if not something more. Oni-chan's reason for defeating Beato isn't to destroy an enemy out of hatred. It feels like he wants to give a sincere answer to her questions. Yes, I can't deny the fact that their fight isn't based on hatred, but on a stronger emotion. And on top of that, Beato really is something to remain dedicated to Oni-chan all the more even after being treated so coldly. I agree with the other older sister Beatrice. I can't understand why she's so dedicated to Oni-chan. And though it will only happen after changing over 1,000 years, that single factor that you don't understand will certainly be inherited by the Golden Witch Beatrice we know so well. Wait, so they've been going in a cycle of 1,000 years? Or it's, like, will it continue? Is that where it's heading, is what I mean? Like, 1,000 years till it gets to the Beatrice that Battler remembers.
Yeah, they said that in order for the chick Beatrice, they called her, to become that same Beatrice, you'd need to, like, relive the same 1,000 years, as they put it, that she did live.
Yeah, I understand that. Learning about this Beato will eventually teach us something about that Beato. And that may be able to explain the greatest piece in this crazy game, if not the game board itself. Such a mysterious witch. Though she said those words, Featherine wore a confident smile on her face. Her sarcastic confidence, as though she already knew the answer, was unchanged. Beatrice, I want to ask you something. Yes, what would you like to know, Anji-san? When Anji asked her a question, Beato, who had been reading a fragment book in the shadows of the library, jumped. Why do you call Ushiromiya Battler father? Because he created the piece that I am. In that case, why are you so dedicated to Ushiromiya Battler? Is there some rule that pieces must obey the creator that makes them? There is no such rule. A piece is like a tool, or perhaps a knife. When used skillfully by the game master, they can be quite useful. However, if you use them incorrectly, they can hurt you as well. Whether a tool is used as a tool or a weapon, that has nothing to do with the tool's own will. It is merely the result. In that case, why are you so dedicated to Oni-chan? It's almost as though that's your goal as a piece. Yes, that is the goal that gave birth to me. Did Oni-chan, the one who gave birth to you, give you that goal? That's not it. As the game master, Battler merely set a piece with that role on the board. Also, the one who gave birth to this piece was the first game master and the one who created this game, Beatrice herself. This is getting confusing. In other words, you keep calling Oni-chan father, but he's not actually your father. You're just calling him that affectionately, because you feel obligated to devote yourself to him. Yes, I think that's true. Father was the one who placed me on the game board. If he hadn't, my piece would never have had a turn. So the fact I exist here right now and am able to devote myself to my goal is all thanks to Father. I see. So that's why it makes sense for you to call him Father. In that case, who told you to devote yourself to Oni-chan? That must have been the first game master, Beato herself. That's literally what you just said. This is so confusing. You wish to ask why she must devote herself to Ushirimiya Battler, correct? However, she cannot give you that answer. She was given nothing but the goal itself. Only the person who gave her that goal knows the reasons for which they did so. I see. Consider that as well, child of man, right? So that means you already have an idea and you're laughing at my confusion. You really are just perfect for my Miko. I will do anything for Father. My existence will bring Father happiness. That is my greatest pleasure. And at that point, Beato hesitated. And what? Yes. And if I could one day have Father acknowledge my efforts, it would be my greatest joy. What the hell? If you only wanted to devote yourself to him, I'd say you're just another furniture of the witch. But you want him to acknowledge your efforts? That's less like furniture and more like... Anji stopped mid-sentence. That's less like furniture and more like... You're just a girl who loves Oni-chan? I don't get it. The driving force behind this Beato is that of a girl who adores Oni-chan. But then, what does that make her? If the first Beato liked Oni-chan, then she should have adored him and devoted herself to him directly. Why would she create a piece of herself, a separate entity, to do it? As it stands, even if she does attract Oni-chan's attention, it will be towards the piece version of herself, not the creator who made that piece. If I ever like someone, I'll probably want to do things for them. But of course, I'd want to do those things myself. After all, I wouldn't want him to notice me. Wait, I would want him to notice me. It's a love that will always go unrewarded, no matter how devoted she is. And she's doing this out of her own free will. Beato's actions look no different from those of an average girl in love. She's devotedly doing all she can for him, dreaming that her kindness will eventually be acknowledged. Why would Beato create a piece like this? Maybe putting it in romantic terms is a bit too confusing. Let's try using food as an example. This would be as pointless as creating a piece to eat food for you. No matter how much food your piece eats on your behalf, you won't get any less hungry, right? You're the one who wants to eat. There's no reason to have a piece do that in your place. For most jobs in this world, you can get someone else to do it for you. However, with love and food alone, there can never be any point to letting another person do it in your place. That's right, this Beato was created as a piece because of an impossible reason, though at a glance she looks like just a normal girl. The more I know about her, the less I understand. Like she's an imaginary number. Father hates it when I call him father. And the me that father desires didn't call him by that name either. Right. The former you spoke to everyone without even using honorifics. However, simply possessing that knowledge doesn't mean I can refer to father quite that informally. I'd like to give it my all and start calling him Butler-son. I'm surprised you haven't gotten discouraged after being treated so coldly. No. Butler-son is in the middle of an important game right now. His opponent is the formidable Lady Erica, piece of the great Lady Berncastle. It's no surprise that he was in a bad mood when I stepped in at a delicate moment in his game, just as it was starting to reach a critical point, and called him by that name he doesn't want to hear. Apparently, Beato still wanted to devote herself to Battler, even after being treated in such a cold manner. Though to an outsider, it might just look as though she's being snubbed. It doesn't faze her at all. It truly is the blindness of a girl in love. Or is it that I can't see because I have no love? At times, love does let you see the unseeable. Beato once again immersed herself in the fragment book that the former Beato had written. She was trying to find something about the Beato that Battler desired. Angie shrugged, as though saying, well, I don't get it. Featherine laughed when she saw this, hinting that an innocent young woman could never understand. Angie grumbled something back unhappily. Their exchange seemed to have had no effect whatsoever on Beato as she sat in the shadows of the library. After chasing all the others out, only Battler remained in the study. There was no colour in this dimly lit room. However, for just the short time that the plate of cookies had been placed there, the room had seen at least a little cheery. Battler's gaze drifted over to the table, which no longer had anything on it. When he did, the cookie plate that had been there until a second ago was revived. However, it was an illusion. Though the cookies could be looked at, they could not be touched, much less eaten. If Battler wished, he could make it possible to touch them or eat them, but it would be an empty sensation. It would only give the touch and taste that Battler desired. He no longer had any way of knowing what kind of cookies they had been. Renove made them anyway.
Yeah, Beatrice made those ones.
Wait, no, like the cookies he had in the past though.
Yeah, Renove made cookies all the time.
But
What are you saying?
I don't understand why it's such a big deal that Beatrice makes cookies, because she never made them to begin with.
Yeah, it's because it's coming from her, that's the thing. It's like do you just go out and get chocolates on Valentine's Day, or do you make them, kind of thing? Even though that's not really an Australian thing.
Yeah. On the reception sofa across from Battler, a cloud of gold butterflies slowly gathered and took the form of the old Beato. Oh my goodness.
I swear we've done this.
She looks so sadistic. Come on, have a bite. It's not every day that I make these by hand. Have no fear, I'm confident in how well they've turned out. It's been so long.
But hearing that from milady makes them all the more dubious.
I don't think he sounded like that.
I have almost sick voice.
Okay, sorry.
Seriously. Any cookies you made would obviously have some kind of strange poison in them.
How shocking! You should think so! Even if I did put something in, it'd be no worse than the kind that does this and that to your other thing. If you do that sort of thing all the time, Battlecon would never agree to eat them. Virgilia's voice just comes like I see Virgilia and say, "Oh no, Garp! Garp's voice is the hardest. I think because it's had so many different variations. And it'll be Garp and Virgilia talking to each other, won't it? Putting things in someone's food is pretty basic, isn't it? Fingernails, bits of hair, magic charms, fragments of love. What would you people put in it? I've forgotten.
Oh yeah.
They look different as well.
We don't know who's who now, except for like Lucifer and...
Yes, ma'am. I wouldn't put anything in them. I'd just eat them all myself.
She's gluttony, I think.
No, I thought gluttony has like dark hair.
Obviously. Do you have to be so predictable?
Is Asmodeus the one who's friends with...
No, it's Mammon.
Ah.
I forgot who Asmodeus was. Like,
who does she represent?
That's what I've forgotten. Let's have a look.
I think we tried to look at this before and it didn't show us.
Yeah, probably. No, it'd be this one. Did I just go past her?
That's Wait. You... Belphegor... Wait, what was Belphegor? Sloth. Belphegor's Sloth. Asmodeus. Envy?
I had probably lost.
Oh, I don't know.
Lewd topic. Dreaming of a prince.
Sounds
about right.
Lost. Yeah. Keep going. I need a reminder. I think you did this one.
Well, they say a girl's got to grab by all three sacks. The first one's the stomach, right? Next comes the wallet. And what was the third one again? Here's Mammon.
Oh, gosh. If I could catch a guy's attention, I'd want to make him sacrifice his body, heart, and soul to me. That's why I put all my power and affection into my cooking. In any event, making someone eat your food is probably... Wait, Belphegor was sloth?
No, she's...
She's gluttony?
No. She's sloth, yeah.
Sloth.
I think sloth.
She looks way different compared to the other one. Making someone eat your food is probably a frontal attack that's gone unchanged throughout the ages.
Your favourite?
Ridiculous! I don't remember how I did it. That's it? How pathetic to think that you couldn't grasp a single man's heart without relying on such simple tricks!
Oh, are you saying you've succeeded in grasping a man's heart, Onesama?
Butler, there's nothing weird in it, so have a bite. Don't think you'll ever get a chance to eat my handmade cookies again. There probably won't be another chance.
There probably won't be another chance. I slowly stretched my hand out to the illusion of the cookie plate and touched it. And there's a whole thing of like, he's had Ronave's cookies before, he knows how they taste, but he hasn't had a Beatrice cookie.
Yeah, true.
Just before I did, it became a cloud of gold butterflies and vanished into the darkness of the study. The illusions of Ronave and Vigilia also disappeared. However, the illusion of Beato alone still remained on the sofa.
Is there something not to your liking?
Are you trying to force me to say it out loud?
The more the new me differs from the form you wished for, the more you're reminded that I can never be revived again. Correct? He looks like he's about to cry. If you let a good woman get away, you never get a second chance. So only now you've finally realized what a good woman I was.
Shut up. If you never appear again, that'd be a relief.
Humph. Beato lay sprawled on the sofa and looked up at the ceiling. Butler also turned his back and moved to the window. For a while, there was silence. I imagine you understand, but...
I do understand.
This music, it feels like a scene in like a soap opera. Where
it is a soap opera. This is exactly what it is right now. The
me you were expecting has already disappeared.
I know. Even though that Beato is you without a doubt. She's a different being than the old you. And I can say with certainty that you'll never revive again.
Because he is the Witch of Certainty. My soul, femininity, sparkling personality, and splendid character were cultivated over 1,000 years spent as a witch. Unless an exactly identical 1,000 years is traversed, nothing can become me. And so, at the moment you decided to create me, my personal history was different.
Yeah. That damn burn crystal has already guaranteed that it'll never revive.
However, you still hope for it, don't you? One day, the new me will trip and land on her head, and all her memories of the past will be restored. You were hoping for something like that, weren't you? A delusional plot like that wouldn't even pass in the light novel these days.
Shut up. In the past, you waited and waited. For me to remember.
And he still doesn't remember.
This mouse is so annoying. Then, what is it? Does this mean that our relationship is exactly the opposite of how it once was?
Well, at times I did continue the game, believing that you would eventually notice and remember that a miracle would occur.
How did it feel? How did it feel when you were playing with me?
As they say, look inside your own heart.
It hurts. If only she didn't look so much like you. I would have kept my cool a little better.
Well, do as you wish. In the past, I toyed with you and tormented you. Now's your chance for revenge against me. The new me will just wander about nervously, ignorant of everything. You may boil or burn her as you see fit. Perhaps doing so will ease your old hatred.
I would if it was you. It'd probably make me feel a lot better. But that Beato isn't you.
If it isn't me, who is it?
It's someone very much like you. But not you.
But even so, she most certainly is me.
True, she is you. And at the same time...
What is this?
I told you, he likes to repeat stuff a lot.
Oh my goodness. She's you, but she's not you, but she is
she
you,
is
but
you.
she isn't you, but she is, but she isn't.
She's a different person.
We've established this, Butler. I can't. In that case, the new me really has it rough. She's being treated like a plaything in my place. How truly pitiable.
That might be the contradiction inside me. The new Beato seems like a different person, so I can't accept her. Even though I know she's a different person, she keeps reminding me of Beato's face.
In that case, why not think of her as my daughter?
Your daughter?
She does share my blood, so consider her a daughter that closely resembles me. After all, she is my double, but hasn't lived 1,000 years, so calling her that is not incongruous.
True.
Imagine that I have died, left behind a daughter, and entrusted her to you. Won't it become a little easier to deal with her that way?
That's actually a good analogy. It's unlike you.
I feel like we've seen this plot point in the earlier episodes where there was Beatrice with Kinzo, and then there was like another girl who they thought might have been Beatrice's daughter who he'd like locked up.
Yeah, the forest Beatrice.
Yeah.
That's why at the start I was like, do you notice anything? Any parallels?
How am I supposed to pick that up? We hadn't met Chick Beatrice then.
Yeah, she was introduced to them.
Do not jest. That is my daughter. She is the child I left behind after my death. You are free to press my likeness upon her. You may also let loose your pent-up resentment on her in my place. Making her bear my sins and torturing her as you please may calm your grudge. If that doesn't match your tastes, you can also guide her down the right path so that she does not end up on the inhumane road that I have tread. She was made to devote herself to you since the moment of her birth. If you wish, you can mold her into any shape you desire. After 1,000 years of miracles, she might even become me.
So, I could even strip her naked and drag her around with a chain like you did to me once?
Yes, at this point, even greater humiliation would be possible.
Didn't know it was Butler who was nodding. So, she is your double and your daughter? That was not a question, but my bad.
I think that's yours.
Oh, she. Oh, no. I thought it was that one. Yes, she's exactly the same person, the same piece, which was created once more by the rule called Beatrice. However, when I'm unable to accept it that way, I can think of her as Beato's daughter, finding a clear guidepost for how to interact with her and smooth the uncertainty in my heart. Finally, I understand how cruel I was to her then.
Those cookies are not coming back, Butler.
My tears poured to the ground, and when I followed them with my eyes, I noticed that a white business card had fallen onto the floor.
That's weird. That's not a business card!
It was the message card that had adorned those cookies. I rushed her, telling her to clean up and leave right away, which was probably why it had fallen to the floor unnoticed. I picked it up and read the message on it. It was extremely short, pure and sincere. It's so clear that I should be able to read it. However, it was blurred with tears, and I can't see anything.
It's being censored.
Pixel eyes.
Oh my goodness.
Why is that so sad?
What do you mean, why is it so sad? The
So
pixelated
emotional.
little... Did they have this part in the anime when you watched it? What part did the anime get up to?
It ended on 4.
So there was no emotional soap operatic scene for you.
It ends with, like, do you remember how 4 ended?
No.
Angie used the stakes on all her aunt's bodyguards, and...
Oh, that's right, there was that big battle.
And then there's...
Does it end with her dying?
No, there's Battler and Beato's final fight. That's where it ends. Where she, like, gives him the last riddle, which is, like, who am I? And then it rolls credits.
Oh my goodness, that would be really annoying. Is that why you were like, I need to know what happens?
Nah, well, I always made a point to finish everything I started back then. And so I just went on with it.
The flood of light and sound slowly dissipated. The silence that followed was not interrupted even by the sound of wind and rain outside that had once been present. Both Jessica and George timidly opened their eyes. Where in the world is this? It was a strange... Is it raining?
Yep. Typhoon.
It knows. It was a strange room they had never seen before. It looked like a Western-style smoking room. Its furnishings were stylish and expensive. It felt like the room of some dignified person. There was a set of black tea on the table, as well as... Wait. Is it gonna, like, split into another game? And this time is gonna be between Jessica and George? What is happening? Are we having, like, parallel world islands?
Go on.
Fine, I'll start it again. There was a set of black tea on the table, as well as a chessboard, which seemed to be halfway through a game. However, there was something strangely out of place. The black and white checkerboard pattern made it feel like chess. But it looked like a very similar yet totally different game that no one knew of. And similar to how it both looked like chess and not chess, the furnishings of this room, no, the room itself, though it seemed like a Western smoking room, it also felt like something completely different. Just where is this place?
Jessica-chan and Canon-kun. And Shannon? Where's Shannon?
I'm right here, George Summer.
Yo, what up? I'm here.
Oh my goodness.
Milady, George Summer. We apologize for bringing you to a place like this.
What have you done, Canon?
What on earth is going on? Just when Shannon took out something that looked like a butterfly wing, and it started shining.
The same thing happened to me. Canon-kun took out his golden butterfly brooch thing. It started to sparkle and...
Milady, George-san, first off, please allow us to apologize. And please stay calm. You'll find your exits and... Something strange is about to happen. That strange thing will probably test us.
Test us? Do you mean...
Jessica's face looks like mine when I'm surprised.
That trial you were just talking about. That we had to overcome if we wanted to be together. Is that it?
A trial?
I haven't explained it to you yet, milady. My apologies. But please, if your words just a second ago were the truth, please lend me your strength. I will give it everything I've got, so please.
I don't understand a thing that's been happening. Do you know something, George Nissan?
A bit. I'm just as surprised as you by what's happening now. However, if they're saying that this is an unavoidable trial, and that we're essential for it, I intend to take on whatever may come.
A trial?
Canon-kun, the brooch.
Yeah.
The two of them brought the halves of the broken golden butterfly brooch closer to each other. As they grew closer, the strength of their bright yellow radiance increased.
Jessica-chan, I want you to prepare your heart as well. I am already prepared.
Are we gonna hear more like
Maybe.
salsa kicking George?
We'll see.
What do you mean? I don't have a clue. What the hell's going on?
It's a trial.
He looks like a Yakuza like underling.
A test for a pair of those who love each other.
Huh? George spoke these awkward-seeming words quickly and easily. It was such an embarrassing line that Jessica couldn't help turning red. But the expression on George's face, which was so serious that it was almost grim, forced her to tense up as well. Get with it, Jessica! Shannon and Cannon were just as serious. With a glow in their eyes as though they were taking part in a sacred duel, the pair of them brought the two golden butterfly wings together. Then the wings they held became a single brooch and regained their magical power. An even more intense light filled the room, and the scene was burnt into the retinas of all present. As the brooch shattered, and the two shining things flew out of it.
You ready?
I don't know.
I don't know if I'm ready for this.
Is this new characters?
We've seen them before. We've voiced them before. But this is their official introduction.
Okay.
This is... I don't know which one this will be.
Can you click?
I think you would go first.
Well, I don't know who I'm voicing. Who is it?
Remember the two demons?
No, I don't. There's so many demons.
The blue hair and the orange hair?
No, I don't. You want me to just
Jesse
remember?
and James.
Ah, okay. I could hear my Team Rocket. I don't
Yeah,
like how
no,
does Team Rocket
It's going to be hard for me right now.
I could totally do James. 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 People live for the sake of love. Yes, this world is love itself.
Oh, how great is the power of love. Love is everything there is.
Suddenly the voices of two people they had never heard before rang out. What was it? Who were they? I don't remember them. Did we see them in their new sprite form? Or was it the old sprite form?
It's probably in the old sprite form,
Okay.
yeah.
George and Jessica nervously opened their eyes. Is that actual James? James? Jesse James? Yeah. When they did, they saw that two demons...
Yeah, go.
They saw that two demons had appeared there. Almost as though the two halves of the brooch had become them. Can we see what they looked like in their... Or can you not do that in this version?
I've forgotten what... Is it options? Yes. Let's see what they sound like first.
Koro. That is totally James!
Hey, that's weird, Furfur. What are we doing in a place like this?
You want to keep the voice on? It really is strange, Zappa.
I was just showing you what they sound like.
There's no one but humans and furniture here. Where's the witch? Where's the witch capable of summoning us?
Yes, we remember the name of the witch of the contract really well, don't we? Let's try calling it out, Furfur.
Yes, you're right, Zappa. We know the name of the witch of the contract, the Golden Witch.
Then let's try calling her.
They've forgotten the name, haven't they?
Beatrice!
Considering their exaggerated theatrical manner and their slightly comical style of talking, it'd probably be hard to comprehend their great power at this point. Okay. When the two demons called Beatrice's name, a cyclone of gold butterflies picked up throughout the room.
Do you want me to do the narration?
That's fine. Then it took the form of two golden witches. Ooh, there are two Beatrices.
Well, there are two of us as well. Why shouldn't there be two Beatrices every now and then?
This is my double and my little sister. We two are the same and as a single person. Pleased to meet you.
It has been a long time, Beatrice Summer.
Am I dreaming?
I feel the same. Still, it's too early to get dumbfounded.
Unlike Jessica, George had maintained his composure even during this bizarre scene. After all, Shannon had already told him what would happen next. Demons of the contract, it has been too long. Zeppa, and you too, Furfur.
Ah, long time no see. You seem to be in high spirits as always.
But what a cute little sister you have. I'll bet those teary, juicy eyes taste like white peaches.
So we got the system info.
Up
I think?
the top?
Yes.
Up there?
I'm blind. We're already on it. For one, you can read it.
Do we get to see them in their original?
No, this
No.
is the patch, so we don't have that
yeah.
luxury.
One of the 72 great demons controls love and tests others through trials. Furfur bestows endless, inexhaustible, offensive power upon the maker of the contract, giving them enough courage to fearlessly overcome any barriers to their love. A trainer of love who teaches tame boys the taste of flesh is of a different gender than Zeppa.
Zeppa, one of the 72 great demons, controls love and tests others through trials. Zeppa bestows an ultimate defensive barrier of immortality upon the maker of the contract, giving them enough courage to unflinchingly face any wounds love might cause. A hunter of love who likes and preys upon tame boys is of a different gender than Furfur. Got that all?
Why are they only after boys?
I don't know.
Did I miss something?
No.
Well, I wonder. Zeppa and Furfur latched onto Beato from either side, wearing strange smiles. Each movement made was exaggerated yet polished, as though they were acting out a play. Leave it at that for now, demons of the contract. To think that tonight will be the last time we will see that mischievous spirit. It will be dearly missed.
I just see them like, yeah.
Acting like Jesse
Yeah.
and James
Just
with
being
the
all
spotlight.
Broadway, like spinning around and like
Yeah.
looking at the camera and stuff like that.
Last time.
The brooch, our vessel, has already been destroyed.
In other words, our role is finished after this. Ah, yes, it has been fun, Beatrice.
However, it was decided when the contract was made. It was decided that we must lend our power one more time before our final farewell.
Wait, do you think they helped out Beatrice? Do you think they've got something to do with Chick Beatrice? Shrug your shoulders at me. So, this is truly the final miracle.
Once is enough for the miracle of love. After all, eternal love will never be needed a second time.
I feel like confetti just burst into the air just then. There you have it, lovers. Those gathered here have been cursed to have unfulfilled love unless a miracle occurs. That is horrible. Your last chance is the power of the golden butterfly brooch, which can grant such a miracle, and like it or not, this chance is limited to this evening. This miracle can be given only to a single pair.
I won't lose.
Yeah, let's both give it our all.
Shannon and Cannon exchanged serious gazes. Both had already readied themselves to fight for the sake of their love. I don't really get it, but I don't want to borrow the power of some strange demon. Jessica was finally starting to figure this place out. These demons were probably planning to pit her and Cannon against George and Shannon. Let me be clear. This is none of your business. Cannon and I can handle our relationship by ourselves. I shouldn't have to put myself in the debt of some bizarre demons.
Milady, please listen. If we don't overcome this trial, we cannot be together.
Our love will be unfulfilled. Jessica, accepted. This is the only trial that could possibly be imposed on upstart furniture wishing to be joined with a human. More of this stuff about furniture and humans? Don't butt in. This has nothing to do with us.
You still haven't told Milady?
I didn't know how I should explain it.
Cannon, Shannon, and you, George Nissan. Why are you listening to these creeps? No one can stand in the way of a person's love. Why do we have to please these demons? It's none of their business. Well, it seems we have quite a troublesome blockhead among us. We could begin the game like this, but that would hardly be fair. Couldn't you explain it for her? I don't understand it that well myself. Is there some kind of problem with the love between Jessica-san and Cannon-san?
Oh my! It seems you and the others understand nothing at all.
With our blessing, the pair can cultivate their love at their leisure. No need to worry about suspicious demons.
However, without our blessing, your love will vanish, disappear, wither and decay.
How the hell are you so sure? Oh, can you imagine if it was like Shannon and George?
What?
Their love disappears and decays, and they've had like this massive love story, this whole thing. Because that is fate. You are free to choose not to accept it. Free to choose not to resist it. That was good timing. Oh, and what happens if you choose not to resist it? That love will end, but perhaps an abstract explanation isn't so convincing. Well now, how could one explain the dead-end fate you're in?
Ushiromi Jessica, a future shared between the two of you would be far more grim than you realize.
If you don't gain the miracle of magic, disaster will most certainly befall you. Then it will cover you, fester within, and split the two of you apart. Even I will not be so boorish as to describe the details of that process. However, if you don't believe, Jessica, I will tell you how it ends. Cannon will stop being a servant and will leave the island. For all eternity.
You will probably leave the island yourself in search of the one you love, but such a venture will doubtless be in vain.
Yes, and yet you will mourn and hate.
Hate who?
You!
Me? No, the you of this moment.
Well, what happened?
Bug.
With a dramatic gesture, the two of them pointed at Jessica. They were saying that if she left, the person left with regrets would be Jessica herself. What the hell are you saying? When you've lost the one you love, you'll realize how much you hate the person you were when you ran away from the trial to complete that love.
Yes, we're messengers from the you of the future. Please, at this very moment, take your love seriously and fight.
And if you don't listen to the message of the you from the future?
The foolish snake eating its own tail will keep on gulping.
The endless cycle of suffering will swallow you up and you will simply vanish. What the hell are you talking about? Jessica's confusion showed on her face as anger. However, a memory of something she'd heard a long time ago welled up in the back of her mind.
Use the Force. Unlike Nair-san, I don't plan on working here for many years. After just a few years, or possibly, if Nair-san ever decides to stop working here, I think I'll stop working too.
Kanon-kun. If you give up on the miracle of magic and hand it over to Shannon and George, they will be joined and will leave the island. Following that, Canon will leave the island as well. That is fate, and unavoidable. Then, what if they can obtain the miracle of magic? Of course, Canon will remain on the island by Jessica's side for all time. He will probably start learning music with Jessica as she desires. How their relationship will progress afterwards is a matter for the two lovers. They can deepen their relationship slowly all by themselves, as Jessica wanted.
However, if that happens, George-san and I will not be joined.
Fate demands that we fight, putting our happiness and futures on the line.
Are you kidding me? What the hell? So if we are joined, the other pair will split apart? What kind of demon's game is this? Well, very demonic. Don't be mistaken. You would not be taking something from each other. Without the power of the golden butterfly brooch, neither love is fated to bear fruit. And who the hell decided that? It is due to your sin of falling in love with furniture, which is not allowed to love. Didn't Canon clearly reject you, saying that furniture was not qualified to love? Knowing that you chose Canon as the one you loved, I won't let you get away with saying you didn't know.
Though she couldn't accept any of it, Jessica was unable to argue back. Then George spoke up with that soft tone that he always used to smooth things over. However, his expression was still ruthlessly serious.
Jessica-chan, can't you think of it this way?
Think of it what way?
I love Shannon, and I am prepared to overcome any and all trials and obstacles that stand in the way of us being together. What about you?
There's something about George that is slightly off.
George!
I don't know, I just feel like he doesn't care about anybody except himself and Shannon.
Well, he's pretty much stated that.
I know, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why Shannon, sees that and is okay with it. Well, I'm not so weak that I'd lose heart that easily.
Yes, that's it exactly. At this moment, we are being tested. Tested to see who can display the strength of our feelings more strongly.
Are you saying that you actually support this crazy plan of theirs?
It doesn't matter whether I support it or not. When I gave Shannon that engagement ring, I swore to fight all trials and barriers that stand in my way. No matter how unreasonable or incomprehensible these trials might be, I cannot choose to avoid them.
George spoke clearly, then looked at Jessica with a cold gaze. By now, Jessica almost understood. If she kept on grumbling and avoiding this demon's trial, the game between the two groups would automatically end with her defeat by default. In other words, George and Shannon would win. Then they would gain the miracle of magic. Their love would be completed, and Jessica and Canon would split apart, with Canon eventually leaving the island and never seeing her again.
Nothing would make me happier than to see you step out of this trial. That way, I wouldn't have to fight you. And that would show the limits of your feelings for Kanon-kun.
It seemed as though George spoke ruthlessly, but he was actually being exceptionally fair. If Jessica lost by default, she would never be able to clear away her lingering regrets. That would leave a bad aftertaste for George as well.
We must fight openly for that single miracle. Even if I lose at the end, I'll be able to accept it if we both gave it our all.
I don't know, George.
And because of that, I will be able to cheer on the victors from the bottom of my heart.
George's determination is quite impressive. After hearing that...
Are you still going to run away?
The two demons giggled and challenged her. Of course, George didn't laugh, but he still challenged her with cold eyes.
And Shannon?
Please forgive me, milady. I am determined not to flinch in my resolve. Even if I know that sticking to my feelings means ending your loving relationship, milady. Shannon had never before spoken to Jessica with such serious and solemn words. Jessica realized what a strong will had dwelt within her usually weak and clumsy friend, and was surprised.
Canon-kun.
I want to start a new life with you, milady. Even if that life means crushing Nair-san's happiness.
So brutal.
I will not falter.
Canon was also doing all he could to restrain himself. Yes, all of them were being serious and frank, and abandoning any naivety they might have possessed. All this about golden butterfly brooches and miracles of magic, and the trial that the demons were giving them. None of it mattered. Only one thing was being tested, whether or not they possessed the strong will to make their love come true. Jessica clenched her fists and hung her head, shaking while biting her lower lip. She was silent, but she would probably gain an unswerving will of steel before too long. She just needed a little time first. The two demons who taunted people with dramatic gestures did not violate the silence that Jessica needed to resolve herself. Love brings about conflict, and this conflict gives rise to determination. As the demons of love, they could understand more fully than any others how noble that determination was.
Jessica-san. Furthermore, this magical miracle is something that can be received by you as well. By me too? What do you mean?
She had thought that this had been about two pairs of lovers. Beato was surprised to suddenly hear that this had something to do with her as well.
With the miracle of the golden butterfly brooch. Even your wish that your affection for Butler would be acknowledged, can be granted easily. And without such a miracle, you too can never be bound to him.
True, because she's sort of furniture too, right?
It means you're no outsider to this either.
To cut across the marshes of love, that is your wish, is it not?
We will not make light of your wish.
Even if your relationship with Butler will eventually fester and rot. No matter how much of a positive outlook you take, you know that this fate will eventually come to pass, barring some kind of miracle. Well...
Beato hung her head sadly. She hadn't wanted to lose heart from that cookie incident. However, it would have been a massive lie to say that it hadn't hurt. The more she tried to get close to Butler, the more she'd hurt him. However, she had been born in order to get closer to Butler. She was like a hedgehog freezing in the cold and bunching together for warmth. She had approached him because of love, and had been hurt for it.
If you understand that much, entrusting your fate to a miracle may prove to be of some interest. As they say, an unbought lottery ticket earns you nothing. Zeppa, Furthfur, let my little sister join in too.
Oh, of course.
Welcome, second Beatrice. We were planning on including you from the very beginning. After all, we are Zeppa and Furthfur, the demons of love. But may I join in as well?
If you want to, I don't see a problem.
I don't know, George.
I won't prevent anyone from entering. we'll win against all hindrances and make everyone celebrate our union. Of course, it's the same the other way around. If you succeed in love by defeating us at our best, then both Shannon and I promise to sincerely support the pair that wins. Right, Shannon?
Yes, we will not lose. And even if we did, we would cheer you on from the bottom of our hearts.
I feel the same. I will not lose.
Well, if there's no way out of this fight, let's show 'em what we've got. No matter what, Kanan-kun and I don't plan on losing. You feel the same, do you not?
Yes, if there is even a small chance that Father... no, that Butler-san will acknowledge me. I'm willing to put myself on that line.
Well said, good going, little sister. Zephyr, Furfur, the actors have gathered.
Then let's begin, Furfur.
Yes, let us begin, Zephyr. Let's begin this trial of lovers, the fight over a single miracle of magic.
Game show.
Yeah.
Couples Battle Royale.
Oh, just Butler during the it's like, enter hidden character, Butler! Like the, what is it, Smash Brothers? New character.
What would Battler's entrance be?
I don't know.
Battler, I don't know.
The dumbest one of them all.
I'm just thinking of his, like, small bombs. I'm trying to work that in.
Be like, boo, 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 boo. Butler unlocked.